look like burnt paper, black, not moving. And then the blast wave hits them, and they fly apart like leaves. Welcome to the Pixelpop Movie Podcast. I'm your host, Toby. This fortnight, I'm joined by the every man blends right in until he kills you model Rev 9, Ethan.
Come with me if you want to live.
And the obviously a machine wrapped in flesh, T800, Barney.
Get to the topper.
Wrong movie.
Oh, dear.
I know, but it works. It's alright.
We stalled our podcast a week because we wanted to catch up with Terminator Dark Fate at the cinema. Having seen it now, I kind of wish we hadn't. But
You want to do with it? I'm not me or Barney.
Right? I mean, geez. Anyway, so as a result, we got a lot of news to get through, a lot of trailers to get through. So that's probably going to be the bulk of this episode. After that, we're going to do some spoiler-free Terminator Dark Fate, which is going to be pretty much me, because no one else has seen it, and I can't blame them. And then after that, I'm going to dive into some spoilers and explain why I feel like the way I do. But yeah, before we do the Terminator thing, let's start with all the news thing. Please take us away, Ethan.
Alright, first up, we have Venom 2, which is being directed by Andy Serkis, is possibly looking at getting a second villain, and that is Shriek. Shriek has been closely linked or associated with Carnage throughout the comics.
Not Shrek. Not to be confused with Shrek.
No, not Shrek. Unfortunately, we all love Shrek, but Shriek. Woody Harrelson will be coming back to play Cletus Cassidy, aka Carnage, and Shriek will be played by, I think her name's Naomi something. Hold on, give me a sec. Naomi Harris is apparently up for the role of Shriek, and she has been in Pirates of the Caribbean, the Eve Moneypenny in Skyfall, Inspector, James Bond. She's been in quite a bit, so she's up for that role.
Yeah, right.
So, does this give credence to the rumors that because there's two villains in this movie, we're going to see two anti-heroes / heroes for this movie as well?
Well, Michelle Williams is back in it, and I think what they're saying is that she will become She-Venom again, like she did in the first one, at some point.
Oh, you know what I saw in the comics recently? Just completely off tangent. Was Venom had, or one of the Venom creatures had wrapped around Hulk. It was It was just, and of course it just kills everything, right?
I mean, there is either an episode or a comic where a Venom symbiote manages to attach itself to Thanos.
Yeah, that's it's a current series going at the moment where it's not quite Venom, but a symbiote's pretty much like taking over the entire like universe, and it's like going through like all the heroes like one by one. Like its main Spider-Man's like the one running from it and trying to fight it, and like it just like pretty much took over Miles Morales and all this sort of stuff. And yeah, it's a pretty grim series.
Hilarious. All right, well, that's cool. I'm waiting for. We haven't got a date for this though, have we? It's coming.
No, I think it starts filming next year. I think the report was.
Fair enough. All right.
Yeah.
Next year. There's one more thing I want to bring up on this particular movie is that is this the reason why that Sony was fighting to take back Spider-Man?
I don't think so. I think
it was money.
The new deal with like Marvel is that they're going to share Spider-Man. Kevin Feige kind of hinted that Tom Holland's Spider-Man will sort of like link into these movies as well. Like there's Venom that starts filming next year. Morbius comes out next year, which is linked into Venom and all Sony's verse they're doing. But apparently Tom Holland did film a cameo for the first Venom, but Marvel made them cut it.
Which is unfortunate.
Yeah. So I think now with the new deal that they've put through between Marvel and Sony is that Tom Holland will start to appear in these Venom movies. I think they're trying to gear him up for Venom 3 will be Tom Holland.
But I don't think it was the instigator. I'm pretty sure it was just money was the reason they originally split. Not Venom. So, anyway.
Yeah.
Cool.
Next we have John Krasinski is directing another movie after Quiet Place 2, which stars Ryan Reynolds. It's apparently called Imaginary Friends. The movie is described as a Dr. Dolittle-like tale of a man who has the ability to see and hear other people's imaginary friends, and is charged with stopping those imaginary entities who become abandoned and turn to the dark side.
Yeah, that sounds abstract.
Yeah,
so
sounds fucking weird.
So did he just look at like the imagination episodes of South Park and be like, yeah, I could take this to the next level?
Probably, yeah.
All I was thinking immediately of was Drop Dead Fred.
Ooh,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
it. Yeah.
Oh, Rick Merrill. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh well,
Maybe.
we'll see.
Matrix 4, which we all know is coming. They've cast Yahya Abdul Mateen II, who was Black Manta and Aquaman, and is seen in the new Watchmen series. He was cast a couple weeks back, as well as Keanu Reeves and Carrie Ann Moss reprising their roles. But Neil Patrick Harris has apparently landed a lead role in the new Matrix movie, which is weird, but yeah. Following on from that, Jada Pinkett Smith is apparently in talks to return, and she played Niobe,
Yeah.
sorry. And also Jessica Henwick from Iron Fist is in talks for a lead role right now as well.
Yeah. I was wondering where she would go after that.
Shows that, it must be pretty far along in development for all the main casting to be coming out. They're probably looking at shooting
well, they must
next year
have
at some point.
Yeah, they must have a script.
Yeah.
So.
Well, the Wachowskis have said for a long time that they've, wanted to do it for ages, so I guess probably with Keanu's a bit more rise to, resurgence due to John Wick, they're like, alright, now's the time, let's do it.
Yeah, I must say I've got pretty low expectations for this film, though.
I mean, I'm sure everyone does.
Yeah. Anyway.
Next we have Jonah Hill, is apparently no longer circling the Batman. He was rumoured for Penguin and Riddler, with Riddler being the most likely one, but he dropped out. And Paul Dano has taken over the role instead. He has officially been cast as the Riddler.
So Jonah Hill's going to be going back and doing Grandma's Boy too, right? And just sucking tit for 6 hours.
Yeah.
I wonder if he tries to actively sort of hide those early film roles.
He doesn't like those because he was typecast for so long.
He was. He was the fat kid that just,
Yeah. And now he doesn't want to do it. That's why he's broken off. Wolf of Wall Street was such a big thing for him, and then he did that Moneyball. Well, he did Moneyball first with Brad Pitt, and then Wolf of Wall Street, and those are big things for him. It sort of shows that he can do more than just, I'm a fat fucking teenager, I'm a fucking stoner and a drunk. It shows he has a bit more range.
But he's
done directing recently as well.
He played those characters as well.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I reckon he could have been a good Penguin, but just saying, Danny DeVito will always be the Penguin in my heart.
Well, I don't know if we covered this in the last podcast or not, but Zoe Kravitz being cast as Catwoman. Did you guys cover that?
I don't know. Probably not. Who knows?
Oh, is that Zoe Kravitz has been cast as Catwoman?
Meow.
Selena Kyle.
I mean, look, you can't do worse than Halle Berry, right?
Michelle Pfeiffer?
Oh, Michelle Pfeiffer was amazing.
Wait, Halle Berry was bad?
What? What?
Oh, no.
She's in Skyline 3.
Oh no!
Man, I'm there. Fucking hey, Skyline 3. Ooh.
Look, just don't be as bad as Halle Berry, and you should be okay.
I mean, nothing is going to be that bad, so I'm sure we'll be alright. Next, we have a trailer for The Report. And I think you know about this one.
Yeah. So yeah.
We've talked about this on 2 podcasts ago. This is a trailer for it.
Just a new trailer for it. Still looking really good. Cast is still looking really good. Still very excited. Can't wait. Amazon Prime. Good stuff.
Lady and the Tramp. We had a second trailer for that.
Yeah. Fuck that. Next.
Oh, is this the live action Lady in the Tramp?
Oh yeah. Yeah. It can go fuck itself. So can Frozen 2.
Disney just really needs to stop this trend. Hey, they just really need to stop this shit. What comes after this? Really?
Lilo and Stitch live action.
Oh, no.
You know what's next though? It's already been filmed, and that's Clifford the Big Red Dog live action. And I'm not kidding about that. It's a real movie. Jack Whitehall's in it. They had a guy in a giant red CGI suit, the puppet around him. They're doing that.
No.
Lilo and Stitch.
Although, now that I think about
They're still
it,
making $1 billion a film. Who gives a shit, right?
Fucking hell.
Hercules as a live action film.
Watch one with The Rock. Watch one with The Rock. That's all you need. Liam McIntyre, whatever his name was, did another one. But yeah, we made a trailer for Frozen 2, which no one cares about because
no one cares.
Let's get a Bed Knobs and Broomsticks reboot.
The fuck is that? Fantasia? When we get one of those two?
What the fuck is Bed Knobs and Broomsticks, man? Angela Lansbury and shit.
I would really prefer a live action Bed Knobs and Broomsticks. Actually, yeah.
It was live action, you fuck.
Yeah, no, that's the fucking joke, you dumbass.
What is this movie?
Disney movie, man. What are you, fucking 12?
Yeah, man, well be.
Huh. Well, there you go.
Toby,
I know.
I've reached that point. I'm an old man now.
You're an old man. You know what bed knobs and broomsticks is, and the children don't.
I wasn't even a fucking spin on my dad's sack when this movie fucking came out.
Well, now you can go and watch it. It's actually a pretty good film.
Fucking, I was a slow swimmer at that year. Jesus Christ.
Didn't it come out before Mary Poppins?
1971, so highly unlikely.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. It wasn't after. Yeah, I don't think Angela Lansbury ever looked young. Like, I'm pretty sure she was born old.
Mary Poppins was 1964, so yeah, it was after.
Okay, so not long after. Right. I would put them in the same era. But yeah, like, bed knobs and broomsticks, fuck.
Good movie.
Next we had a trailer for Bombshell.
I didn't watch this. Do I want to watch this?
Starring Nicole Kidman, Margot Robbie, and Charlize Theron. Charlize Theron does not look like herself at all in this movie. She's got like prosthetics on to make herself look really different. But it's based on a true story.
Okay.
I mean, that's a hell of a lineup of actresses, though.
Well, I'll give you the rest of the cast. So the film centers on female Fox News person now and their allegations against founder Roger Ailes, what the fuck his name is. So it's based on like a true story for that. But you have Charlize Theron, Nicole Kidman, Margot Robbie, John Lithgow, Kate McKinnon, Connie Britton, Mark Duplass, Rob Delaney, Alice Eve, Malcolm McDowell as Rupert Murdoch. Okay. But a funny thing to do with that, though, they got Malcolm McDowell as Rupert Murdoch, but then they have Ben Lawson and Josh Lawson as Lachlan Murdoch and James Murdoch.
What's it about? Obviously something to do with media.
Yeah, female Fox News personality allegations against the founder.
Okay, right. Okay, cool.
Apparently it's got a big bit of hype around it, so... The Laundromat, starring Gary Oldman and Meryl Streep. It's actually out on Netflix right now.
Okay, wow. Oldman and Streep, that's good. Yeah, good actor.
Yeah, and Antonio Banderas as well, directed by Steven Soderbergh.
You can't say Antonio Banderas, you have to say Antonio Banderas.
Zorro.
Banderas.
And Puss in Boots is in it.
I am Antonio Banderas.
But
although that does make me kind of a little sad that Antonio Banderas' most famous role is as like a cartoon cat.
I know Lucas was hyped for this, but it's out now, so if anyone wants to watch it...
Yeah, I'll put it on my extremely long list of shit I need to catch up on.
And finally we had a trailer for something that... it's actually the whole season is coming out as next Friday, and that is Man in the High Castle Season 4. The final season is out next Friday.
Keen, which means I'm going to smash through a few other things before then.
Oh, fucking hell. Yeah. We had finally had a trailer for that. Dropped just a month shy of the series coming out, so this is going to be good.
Yeah, although I'm still going to be going in cautiously because I've been burnt too many times where the final season of a show just fucks everything up. So I'm hoping that's not the case, and I don't want to jinx it, but I'm going in cautiously because the music in that trailer didn't go with it at all.
Not quite, but
I don't know why they did that.
Good.
Yeah.
Next, we had a trailer for The Outsider, which is coming January 12th on HBO next year. Based on a Stephen King novel, stars Ben Mendelsohn, so I'm in, and Jason Bateman. You're
all about that Mendelsohn.
Fucking A. I still haven't watched that new one on Netflix, The King or whatever it is. I still need to watch that.
Yeah, that only just came out, yeah.
Yeah. And this one's quite good. Murder mystery type sort of thing. Stephen King, I mean, what hasn't he got in the works at the moment?
Well, he hasn't got shit in the works. It's everybody that's adapting.
Well, yeah.
He's hot property at the moment.
Yeah, fucking A. Marriage Story, starring Adam Driver, Laura Dern, Scarlett Johansson. Something about...
I haven't watched that trailer. I shared that trailer.
No.
I haven't watched that trailer. I did. I did watch that trailer. Yeah.
I think it's like Oscar bait. I think it's pretty much like an Oscar bait movie.
Yeah. It's they're separating and yeah. But the acting, like the cast, was pretty solid. The trailer looked pretty good. Yeah. Yeah.
So there's that. There's Bloodshot starring Vin Diesel. The trailer showed way more than it should have.
Yeah.
But it looks like it could be a fun, entertaining thing like Fast and Furious movies. Just go there.
It's also it's just going to be, to me, it's just a pit stop on the way to the next Riddick.
Yeah, pretty much.
You know, you've got to sit and go, that's neat. Thanks, Vin. How about that Riddick now? Cheers, mate. Cheers.
We'll get Riddick after he's done Fast and Furious 10, which is supposed to be the last one. And then we'll probably get like Old Man Riddick, which will be like Old Man Logan style.
Yeah, because he'll be 140 by then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what we'll get.
Man,
and
I
like
hope he gets
the Fast and
Food Poppers this time.
The Fast and Furious series will go to space, and Dom will meet Riddick. And it turns out Fury is actually just Earth, a long, long time ago, or some shit like that. That's what it is.
No.
God, I hope not.
Oh no.
Next, we had the final trailer for Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. Now, I wasn't excited for this one at all. I was like, yeah, cool, another Star Wars movie. It's the last one for like this trilogy year, whatever. I watched this trailer and it actually got me excited. Like, I actually have some bit of hype for this movie now. While I kind of already know a lot what's going to happen due to leaks and stuff, I'm still extremely excited for this. I know you two don't care, but...
No.
Well, I'm just there's just some things that irk me, like, you know, some characters that should have, you know,
I'm going to
permanently
say...
stayed dead.
I'm going to say it loud and proud. I will torrent the shit out of this in 6 months.
But if you don't want to, I could tell you exactly what happens right now if you want.
No,
people.
it's fine. It's fine.
So actually, at the end of the movie, what happens is the credits roll and it's the...
I will torrent the shit out of this in 6 months. And I don't care.
Something I am actually looking forward to, which is out next week as well, is The Mandalorian on Disney+.
Yeah, because that's... when's that? In 2-3 days that launches, isn't it?
It's out a week away in America. They get it on the 12th. It launches for them. We get it the 19th, so it's 2 weeks away for us.
Right, okay. Yeah, I haven't signed up
We get
yet.
Disney Plus for a week.
I'm not going to sign up until I've heard from you and Lucas and others who have signed up, because just in case there's teething problems, and I'm also worried there's not going to be enough content that I'm going to want off the bat.
Well, maybe not. They've released and said their entire catalog where it's coming to it.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm mainly interested in the upcoming Marvel shows, and they're not for a while yet.
Well, do you like documentaries or no?
I do, but I mean, I suppose the girls will watch National Geographic stuff.
Well, yeah, because there's shit tons of that. There's Jeff Goldblum's one he's doing. There's fucking...
I'm going to have to downgrade my Netflix to pay for it.
I'm just going to have to start actually getting money from everyone else using my account so I can pay for all these. Because I have every streaming service there is. So, except Foxtel. So I'm like, hey, so I want to pay up some money now for me?
Jeez.
But I'm looking forward to this. Mandalorian looks good. Looks different. Looks dark like Rogue One. And I really enjoyed Rogue One. So hopefully it's like that.
I'm not a Star Wars fan, but I did say that the trailers looked as close as you could get to an adult Star Wars film without being an adult Star Wars film. It definitely looks a lot darker, which is cool.
Move along. 32 pictures have been submitted for the animated features at Oscars, which is a fucking shit ton. Now that the Oscars are like next year, even some movies that haven't been out yet were nominated.
Okay,
so
what's this? So they're 32 picks submitted for animated feature race. What's that about? Explain more.
So 32 movies have been put up to be nominated for Oscars. So what happens now is out of those 32, all people in the Academy will then vote on which ones out of those they think should go through to the Oscars.
Is 32
like 5 or 6? Yeah, 32 is a lot, but then they vote for those, and then whichever like 5 or 6 out of those 32 will then be submitted for Best of Picture at the Oscar after that. But 32 is a lot to be fucking submitted.
It's alright. The ones that get through will be the ones with like the most multiculturalism in them. Calling it now.
So speaking of Star Wars, those people that made Game of Thrones can just fuck off and their shit's dead now.
What? Can you hold on? I was going to get to that.
Okay, go on then. Go on. You do it your way. But fuck
as I was saying, we're going through this, but also Avengers has been nominated to be put through Endgame for 3 or 4 Oscars, which was like editing, sound, CGI, and as Best Picture. It's been nominated. Been put toward full consideration.
Cool, you know, as long as none of them get put forward as like best actor or actress, because you know it was not a movie that excelled at acting.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
People that wanted RDJ be put through for best acting, but even he was like, "No, I don't want to be nominated for that." He said, "Don't nominate me to be fucking considered for best actor for that." He's like, "Sure, I get it." He's like, "I get people like my work, but I don't want to be put through for it." To finish off our trailers, we have 2 left. We had a main trailer for The Witcher coming on Netflix.
Yes,
which is looking better and better.
So hot.
Did you see the meme? Did you see the meme for that going around? It clacked me up. So it's a screenshot from Geralt in the bathtub from Witcher 3.
Oh yeah,
and then a screenshot of from the Netflix show, and then it's just got on the overlay it says RTX enabled. Like just graphical. Yeah. It just flicks between. It's assuming that it's the ray tracing that makes it look so good.
Well, the writers and producers of the show said today that they have a 7-season plan.
Jesus!
Wow.
Not even 6 seasons in a movie.
No, 7 seasons and
But
no movie or.
Did I not hear or read that the show itself is not? It's only like 6 episodes or something per season or something.
I think it's 6 or 8. I think it's 8 episodes.
It's not a massive 13. So
no, it's not.
That makes a bit more sense, perhaps.
And they also said that the series will also focus on Siri and Yennefer a lot more than... Well, not a lot more, but yeah, which is what it is a lot in the books as well. Because everyone going into this... I mean, a lot of people are being like, but the games is all about Geralt and all this sort of thing. It's like, well, they're not basing this on the games. This is all coming from the books. And the games aren't always completely faithful to the books, even though, you know, a lot of it is... There's still a lot of things that they miss out and don't include. So they're trying to be faithful to the books with the series.
Yeah, and it's not like you want to watch like a series play out as it did in the games. Like,
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
you played the game.
Yeah,
like this is a different thing. If you haven't read the books, then awesome.
You don't want to
this will be a totally new experience.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, you get fucking 10 hours of cutscenes in the game. You don't fucking need that in the series either.
Yep.
Yeah.
Next, we had a trailer for Jumanji: The Next Level, the final trailer.
Yep, look good.
It's in cinemas December 13th.
Oh.
Are you going to watch Star Wars in the cinemas, or are you going to watch Jumanji in the cinemas?
Jumanji?
I will watch neither in the cinemas.
Because they're both there. I think we actually get it later than... Yeah, we do. We don't get it at the same time as America. So America gets it on December 13th. We get it on December 26th. We get it almost 2 weeks later.
Yeah, no, I was a long time before I went into the Jumanji 2 film, and then wished I'd gotten it sooner because it was really good. So
it was surprisingly good.
It really was. So I'm keen for this.
Next we have Patton Oswalt has filmed a secret role in the upcoming The Boys Season 2, which has been filming for a while now. Hopefully we'll get that mid next year.
Keen.
All going well.
That was so good. That was probably the best TV series this year to date.
Well, yeah, and they said that their ratings for The Boys have been really, really good as well. It's one of the best, most viewed ones on Amazon out of the original series. Robert Zemeckis is in talks to direct a live-action Pinocchio for Disney, while Guillermo del Toro is currently also working on a Pinocchio story.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why not? Except Guillermo del Toro will have, it'll be rated fucking R and kids will be getting butchered everywhere.
Yeah, and it'll probably actually, use more practical effects than CGI, so it'll probably look a lot better too.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. He'll actually just get some kid and, replace his skin with wood.
Yeah. Amazon's Lord of the Rings has cast Game of Thrones star Joseph Mowley, who played Benjen Stark. He has been cast as the villain of their Lord of the Rings series. Next we have Superman and Lois, starring Tyler Hoechlin and Elizabeth Tulloch, who have been popped up in Supergirl and the crossovers have had on Arrow and Flash, again in their own TV show at CW. Big news. More Superman, if you want it.
Nah, Christopher Reeve was the beginning and the end.
He was shit. Moving on.
What?
I've never seen one.
What?
I've never seen one with him in it. The first Superman movie I watched was Man of Steel, so...
Do yourself a favour, and I mean, it's old as shit. Just watch the first one. Don't need to do any others. Just watch the first Superman from 1978 with Christopher Reeve.
I'll add that to the list of movies people tell me to watch. I'm never going to watch because I just don't want to watch it. I'll take your word for it, but I'm not going to watch it.
Well, I'm never going to believe anything you say again.
Oh man, but don't you like it when he circles the Earth at such a rate that he actually
reverses
turns
it?
back time?
That wasn't the first one. That wasn't.
That was the second one, wasn't it?
Yeah, and there's a lot of politics to the second one. Dick Donner wanted his name taken off it, for fuck's sake. There was.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nah, just the first one. Just the first one. That's all you need.
I'll go watch the Brandon Ruth one from 2004.
You go watch fucking Skyline again, you useless cunt.
Oh! I'll do it.
Yeah, I know you will.
I'll watch fucking Skyline again, and I'll fucking enjoy every second of it.
Yeah,
just some shitty old Superman movie.
Jerk off 56 times and go into cardiac arrest.
Henry Cavill's my Superman. Fuck Christopher Reeve.
Henry Cavill's not bad.
Yeah.
But he ain't no Christopher Reeve.
I prefer that body double they had in Shazam. He's better than Christopher Reeve.
How would you know? You haven't watched Christopher Reeve for Superman.
I'm just guessing.
Welcome to the Fix and Pop Movie Podcast, where we just guess some shit.
Yeah, I'm just guessing. Yeah, that's how everything goes, right?
Right, can we trash talk? Can we trash talk these Game of Thrones writers now?
No, not yet.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
So first we have HBO Kills Game of Thrones prequel starring Naomi Watts. It was they filmed the pilot for it, and that was about it. It was going to be focused on the first battle between Man and White Walkers. So that's been cancelled completely. Done.
Oh, it has been cancelled?
Yep, that spin-off's been cancelled. They filmed the pilot for it, and it's been cancelled. But funnily enough, HBO was not happy with the first pilot for Game of Thrones either. They had to reshoot a lot of it. But this has just been cancelled.
Well, was George R. R. Martin a part of this project?
Yeah, he was, I think. Pretty sure he was. He helped him write it and set it up. Yeah, the idea came from him. So yeah, he did actually come up with the idea for it.
Oh, well.
But following on from that, Game of Thrones has picked up a prequel series, direct-to-series, called House of the Dragon. It'll be all about the Targaryens. The series is co-created by George R. R. Martin and Ryan Condon, who both worked on...
So much incest coming.
and who both worked on the past show, the one that just got cancelled too. So yeah, it's coming to HBO, and probably the new streaming service, HBO Max, I think it's called.
I mean, it's the perfect HBO show.
Yeah.
I mean, it has incest and dragons.
Yeah,
of course it's going to work.
Oh yeah, that's something we didn't. I don't think we have mentioned in the podcast is that HBO have their streaming service coming too.
Yeah, HBO Max. So HBO has their big one. They announced a bunch of new shows coming to, which I don't have a list for.
Are we getting that in Australia? Do we know?
I don't know, because a lot of HBO stuff goes straight to Foxtel.
Yeah, but I mean, if HBO is doing their own streaming, that would be good for Australians because we miss out on a lot of HBO stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
Hulu's the other one I want. I want Hulu.
Yeah, there's a lot coming to it, so I'm just gonna, get the big stuff that I know that we'll probably all be interested in.
Mm-hmm.
So first off, you have that one that I just talked about, the Game of Thrones one that's coming to it. One which I'm just going to move on to next is a Green Lantern Corps TV show, overlooked by Greg Berlanti, who's currently producing every single other DC superhero show: Flash, Supergirl, Legends of Tomorrow, Arrow, Batwoman, Titans, Doom Patrol. He's pretty much been like the go-to DC guy. So he's doing a Green Lantern's Corps series. Doom Patrol is coming to it, as well as all the CW stuff's coming to it. They've already announced that Joker will be available on it in January when it launches. They've picked up all the rights to South Park for it. Rick and Morty's going to it as well.
Oh, those two are big ones.
Yeah. Who Framed Roger Rabbit is developing a new director. Robert Zemeckis is developing a new series that melds live action and animation. A half-hour comedy series. Yeah.
Nice.
Who asked for that?
No one did.
Who's asking for this?
The half-hour comedy series follows a protagonist named Mike who starts seeing hallucinations of iconic cartoon characters. Those hallucinations will help him guide Mike through a difficult period in his life.
It's not actually going to be Who Framed Roger Rabbit unless they can have that scene of Mickey Mouse and Bugs Bunny in the same panel. Otherwise, it won't be an actual spiritual success.
Yeah. It's so there's that. More Looney Tunes is coming. Jellystone, which is like some Hanna-Barbera comics and all that sort of stuff. They're doing new shows based on all of them.
Wow. So that's Yogi Bear and all that.
Yeah, Yellowstone's Yogi Bear, yeah.
Yep. Yeah. So all of Yogi Bear. No, Jellystone, sorry, not thing. Jellystone.
Okay.
Yogi Bear, Boo Boo, Augie Doggy, Doggy Daddy Ruff, Yaki Doodle.
Yeah, the park ranger or whatever. Yeah, Jellystone is the national park that they all kind of roam around in.
Yeah, sorry, it's a play on Yellowstone. That was my mistake.
Yes, that was the point.
4 new hour-long Adventure Time specials are coming as well. Adventure Time finished last year in September.
Really couldn't give a fuck about Adventure Time.
All of Studio Ghibli is going to HBO Max. All of it, their entire back catalog.
Ooh.
Which is a big get. That's a big one.
Oh yeah. Holy crap.
Yeah.
How did they manage to get that? Wow.
Yeah. All 55 episodes of the original Boondock series is coming, as well as a new Boondock series from the original creators coming to it as well. All of Friends, all of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
I mean...
Gremlins animated series.
Fresh Prince just went through Netflix. I don't know if it's still there, but yeah.
Yeah. The Outsider, the one we talked about earlier, Ben Mendelsohn, that's going straight to HBO Max.
Man, two streaming services.
Yeah, the new Dune series doing The Sisterhood, which is being done by Denis Villeneuve. He's doing that series. That's going to HBO Max as well.
Pretty sure I saw a meme that really summed this up, where it was sort of like people were torrenting, then Netflix came out and everyone's like, sweet, I don't have to torrent anymore. And they were buying and watching Netflix legally. And then now there's like 12 streaming services and everyone's like, fuck this, and just goes back to like torrenting again because we're not going to sign up for 12 streaming services.
No, like the smart play here is if like these streaming service companies actually made deals with each other and actually like started merging, because otherwise, if you have too many, no one's going to pay for your shit and just torrent again.
Yeah,
Avenue
5 is a high satire series set aboard a spacebound cruise ship starring Hugh Laurie and Josh Gad.
What you're going to do is, like what Ethan's got, is you get 6 or 7 mates, you all pay for one service, and then you just share them around. But they're cracking down on that too, I read.
Oh, yeah.
They're trying to crack down on account sharing.
Netflix wants to crack down on it. HBO Max has said they want to crack down on password sharing, and so does Disney+. Everyone wants to.
That's so shit.
Another series is Lovecraft Country, a unique horror series based on a novel, written and executive produced by Jordan Peele and J.J. Abrams.
Wow, okay. Peele and Abrams.
That's a hell of a lineup, yeah.
Yeah, all right. That's got my interest sparked.
I think it's during like 1930s and 1940s or like 50s or 60s, something like that. As a guy travels across America and he deals with like racism and things like that, but there's also Lovecraft creatures. So.
Yeah, right? Like, do you not know the Lovecraft mythos?
Well, no, but this isn't written by Lovecraft.
Yeah,
this is like someone else.
Shit. Most of your Lovecraft stuff is set in the 20s. But,
yeah.
I mean, it doesn't mean that this is. But yeah, that's cool.
Fair enough.
So I got Spider-Verse on Blu-ray for my birthday. That was pretty cool. And now I hear that.
Yeah, it was about a day before this. I sent Lucas a screenshot of their Twitter saying like, "Oh, our Spidey sense is tingling. What could be happening?" And both me and him are like, "Hold on a minute. Are we getting a fucking announcement soon?" And yeah, we did. 2022, April 8th, we will get another Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse movie, which is fucking great.
Yeah, so it's, I mentioned it to Toby on the weekend.
I can't wait.
It's going to be amazing.
So many times.
So keen.
I was really because I'd heard everybody talking about the original and had paid it no attention because I never really watched the animated stuff. I'd never delved into it, and then saw it on Amazon and was like, "Fuck it!" Everyone says it's good. I'm going to watch this, and was just blown away. So yeah, I'm on the hype train.
And next we have a report, and that is Ant-Man will be getting a third movie hitting theaters in 2022. Peyton Reed will be back to write and direct. He'll be the first person to write and direct a trilogy of Marvel movies. It is said that Paul Rudd is expected to return. Following on from that, in a recent interview with Michael Douglas, talking about his Kaminsky Method Netflix series, someone asked him about it, and he said that they start filming the third one in 2021, which pretty much just confirms that he knows he's in it.
Well, shit, eh?
Yeah.
I mean, okay, so you got him in it, and you got maybe Paul Rudd.
Paul Rudd will be in it. Evangeline
like
Lilly, Michelle Pfeiffer, Hannah John Carmen, Lawrence Fishburne, they'll probably all be back.
I'm interested to see who the villain will be in this one.
Well, there's been a lot of rumors going that they may be training up the Young Avengers. That could be what they do. They're the leaders of the Young Avengers, and they like train them up. That's been a big rumor for a little while. But I guess we'll find out eventually.
Yep.
And what Toby mentioned earlier, I just wanted to leave till last, is Star Wars trilogy from D.B. Weiss and David Benioff has been cancelled. They will no longer be doing their Star Wars trilogy.
Now, I mean, do these guys just get dropped like hot bricks by everybody all of a sudden?
Well, no, it's because from what Kathleen Kennedy has said, David Benioff and D.B. Weiss and Dan Weiss are incredible storytellers. We hope to include them in the journey for when they're able to step away from their busy schedule to focus on Star Wars. So pretty much they've taken on too much. They've signed like a $400 million deal with Netflix, something like that, to do a bunch of movies and TV shows for them, and they're just too busy to actually work on Star Wars. That's why their trilogy's been cancelled. They're just way too busy. But also Ryan Johnson, his name? Yeah. He still says that talks are ongoing with Disney for his trilogy. They're unsure.
Way too shit.
Why? Why does there need to be more Star Wars trilogies?
Well, Bob Iger has said that, he thinks less Star Wars is better.
Yeah.
If you, derail, but just quickly, I mean, you look at the gap between Return of the Jedi and Phantom Menace. I'm not saying you want to wait 20 years or something. But I think you need to build that hype meter back up. I think you need to probably have several years gap. But I mean, shareholders don't want that. But, you know, I think it would be good for the series if you let it all die down for a while and then slowly rebuild the hype.
Well, we're not going to have a movie for a while, but at least we have a couple of seasons, like TV shows. We have Mandalorian. They've already started filming season 2 of that. Then you've got the Obi-Wan series as well, which starts filming next year, Ewan McGregor said. And then you have the Cassian Andor one from Rogue One. He's got his one. So they've got a couple of series, and none of them are actually, like, apart from Obi-Wan, are like big Jedi mythos stuff or anything like that. So they obviously want to explore everything else out there. And not just be like, hey, look, here's a new Jedi. Here's a new Jedi. Oh, look, there's Luke. They want to, you know, explore other stuff.
Yeah.
Which is it's smart.
Yeah. Cool.
That's it. We're done for the news.
Done for the news. All right, well, Doctor Sleep's hitting cinemas shortly, isn't
Tomorrow.
it? Yeah,
Thursday.
Yeah, I'm hoping we'll get a written review from Jesse or Jay or someone on the team. They'll go see that and give us the down low, the skinny. I've started watching Amazon Prime's Jack Ryan Season 2 because I really enjoyed Season 1. I'm about halfway through Season 2 and that's really good so far. I haven't started watching Treadstone yet, but I have acquired, quote-unquote, some episodes of that to watch. And I think you said you started watching Watchmen?
Yes, I have started watching Watchmen. I've seen 2 episodes. 3 are out at the moment, and it is quite good. If you haven't seen the movie, don't worry about it, I don't think. It does not follow on from the movie. It more follows on from the comic, graphic novel. But then again, some things do get explained, so if you don't know what's going on, you should be alright. I feel like you can go into the series not having watched the movie or the read the graphic novel and still enjoy it. But it's been quite good, yeah.
Right. You been watching anything lately, Bunny?
Fred and I've just been focusing a lot on work.
Well, you suck.
I really do. I need to catch up on a lot of viewing, actually.
Yeah. Oh, I just finished knocking over. This kind of leads into Terminator. I just finished watching all 4 seasons of *Halt and Catch Fire*. And if you haven't,
because it's got Mackenzie Davis in it.
It's got Mackenzie Davis. I didn't watch it for her.
You watch it for Lee Pace?
Not really anyone in particular. I'd caught the pilot a while ago and thought that was pretty cool, and then never sort of got around to watching it. And then I had some time and I thought, yeah. And it was one of those things. I just sort of watched the first couple of episodes of season 1 and it hooked me, and I just binged all 4 seasons. And it was good. And if you're into IT and computers and the history, fictional as it is, but that kind of it encapsulates everything that was going on, sort of from the early 80s or mid 80s through till mid 90s. Sort of, it's really neat, and the acting was really good, and I enjoyed it. So anyway, but yeah, it has Mackenzie Davis in one of her probably pivotal roles that really put a spotlight on her.
Probably got it cast in Blade Runner.
She did, yeah, in 2017. But yeah, all right. So let's move over to Terminator: Dark Fate. I'm going to start with some spoiler free and just sort of take you through it. And it's been getting some very mixed reviews.
It's going to lose up to 120 million at the box office.
Yeah, it's going to lose a lot of money at the box office. Now, I don't get into the political stuff on the podcast, but I think the large part of the problem it's facing is you've got 3 strong female leads, and there's a certain portion of the consumers that'll go, oh, you know, feminism, rah, rah. I saw political elements in the film, but it didn't bother me. Like, I think Terminator 2 has, you know, Linda Hamilton is an incredibly strong female lead in that, and it's not feminist in that nature. She's just a strong, powerful female character. So I'm saying, like, I think that's it's sort of like the Ghostbusters reboot. There was a lot of hatred towards that film because of the female cast, and I admit I avoided it for a long time. Then I watched it and went, actually, this is pretty good. I got a laugh out of it. I enjoyed it. Yeah, like, if you're thinking feminism, rah, 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 you're not going to see it because of that, well, it's dumb. Because I do feel there's a few times that it's sort of, and it's not just feminism, there's a few other political points get shoved in your face, and I kind of rolled my eyes. But there's not enough of it that it just trashes the whole film. The reason that the film is going to not do particularly well is because it's just very average. Which is a disappointment because, you know, Terminator 3 was terrible. I mean, it's watchable. That's about it. Terminator 4, at least it brought something fresh to the table in that it showed us a future world that we'd only ever seen glimpses of, but never spent a whole movie in, so that was neat. A lot of people didn't like Genesis. I kind of liked Genesis because I thought it was kind of neat how they had rewritten the T1 storyline, and I liked that. It was cool. This does nothing new. It just regurgitates existing ideas. There's absolutely, literally nothing new in this film. Nothing. There's not one single beat where you went, oh shit, that's kind of original and neat. No, not at any stage. It absolutely, it's meant to be a direct sequel to Terminator 2, 1 and 2, ignoring 3, Salvation and Genesis. And it shits on those first 2 films as well. And I don't know why. To me, it almost feels like a cash grab. And it's just disappointing. And it could have been so much more. I know Salvation was meant to be the start of a new trilogy. Didn't make enough money, so that got scrapped. Genesis was going to be the start of a new trilogy. That didn't make enough money, so that got scrapped. And I'm telling you, the same thing's going to happen here. And they just need to end it. They need to end the Terminator franchise. It terminated. Because it's not working, and as Barney is such a fan of quoting, the definition of insanity, is repeating the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. It's not going to work. I think Hamilton was good, but wasted. She was a lot stronger in Terminator 2. In this one, she's still strong, but not as strong. And I felt she was a bit wasted, and I think that was because they were trying to put more of the light on Mackenzie Davis. But Mackenzie Davis, as much as I've enjoyed her in other things, in this, she does come across as a strong warrior type, but she also just comes along over to me as a bitch. Like, she's not, and that's the other thing. You find no empathy towards any of the characters. I didn't connect with any of the characters. And I found Gabriel Luna's character to be the most interesting, if anything, because they finally presented us a Terminator, which was the original concept from the very beginning of the very first one. It was not meant to be Arnold Schwarzenegger, as you know. It was going to be Lance, what's his face, who played the copper in it. And he's also plays Bishop in Aliens. He was going to be the Terminator originally. The idea was that the Terminator was an everyman, someone that could just walk through a crowd and you would never notice. Average height, average build, average looks, and just blend. And Gabriel Luna's character in this is exactly that. He's what the Terminator should have been, and he does that really well. But in terms of his character's abilities, it's all been done. And that's the biggest disappointment, really, is this doesn't push the envelope. It plays it very, very safe. The humor is, what is in there is offbeat and doesn't work. And I feel like it's just they lured Hamilton and Schwarzenegger back in with some cash, and it just doesn't pay dividends. And it's really sad because, you're never going to get you're just not going to get a good Terminator film ever again. Like, just go watch the first one again and the second one and then leave it at that, I think.
So 3 was alright.
No.
Yeah.
It's watchable. That's about it. And that's what this is. I put this above T3 on my personal ladder. But I still put it probably below Genesis and Salvation, just because it brings nothing new to the table. It's paint by numbers. It drags its feet in certain parts. There's just, it's not go. There's a lot of unnecessary exposition, and it just really shits on everything that's come before. We know the rules of Terminator. We know, you can't do this, and you have to, this is this, and this is this, and it just shits all over them for no reason. So I think if you've never watched a Terminator film, this is grab a popcorn and watch it and go, it's an okay action film. That was neat. If you're a Terminator fan, you're not going to like this, or at least you're going to be very indifferent to this and wait for the home release. Yeah. I'm going to dive into spoilers now, if that's all right.
Yeah, please do, because,
I'll save you.
I didn't think I was in... I thought I was in pain, but please lessen that with...
Of interest before I jump into spoilers. Hang on, before I jump into spoilers, just what was interesting too, when I went to my local cinema, because the event cinemas in Brisbane here are much cheaper than all the other cinemas. They're normally like $8 for an adult ticket. This movie was the first non-Disney film to have the Disney tax, quote, and quote, attached to it, and the ticket prices were higher because Disney... I spoke to the manager, actually, who served us, and he was saying, because other cinemas charge $20-something a ticket,
Yeah.
so the deal is that the movie studios get 50% of the ticket price. But because Event charges so little, Disney's not happy with their $4, and so they forced Event to charge more for their films so that Disney makes their money. And even though this is not a Disney film, but because Fox and all that is now owned by Disney, this has the Disney tax. So we ended up spending, whereas normally we'd spend, by the time we bought 3 tickets and snacks, we'd spend $40. This was a $50 night, just to give you some comparison. All right, yeah, so you had a question, Ethan. But I'm going into spoilers now.
Yeah, it's a spoiler question. How did, what's his name look like as a young kid? Like, how they did the CGI for that? Did it look alright? Yeah,
I mean, you still get the Uncanny Valley. So the opening scene, here's the biggest spoiler of all that's outraged a lot of people, is a de-aged Linda Hamilton, a de-aged Arnold Schwarzenegger, and a de-aged...
I can't remember his name.
Poor bastard, right?
What, the kid?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, look, it's Uncanny Valley. Like, it's clearly, there's some CG, and there's... Sorry. And there's also other scenes, like there's action sequences through the movie where you could see, I'm not going to say it's as bad as Black Panther in that final fight, but it's noticeable that it's CG. Especially too, I think now, because cinema technology is getting better. We've got digital projectors and they're doing high res, and it's kind of like watching those movies from the 90s on Blu-ray 4K now, and you can really see the difference between the CG and the live action stuff. But so the joke being is, we watched Terminator 1, we watched Terminator 2, and then the start of this, they're sitting on a beach, which doesn't make any sense because, Sarah Connor's all very much about being careful. They're sitting on a beach in a public area, although she's still dressed up from what she was wearing in T2. And then Terminator rocks up in a Hawaiian shirt and just blows John away and says thanks for coming and then leaves.
What?
Yeah, John Connor just dies the first 30 seconds.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
So what happens is Skynet's thwarted. Skynet's still lost. So what happens is that instead of Skynet, you now have an AI called Legion, which they don't explain, who springs up in its place 20 years later, which they don't explain, and then instead of sending back T-800s and T-1000s, sends back a Rev 9.
The hell's a Rev 9?
A Terminator. But it's not Skynet, it's not Cyberdyne, it's Legion.
Oh, I get it, because Rev stands for revenge.
Or revision, I would say. Revision. But
revenge.
Revenge
is coming!
There's a problem. There's so many problems. Okay, so this is let me take...
Can I ask another question?
Sure.
Do you think that the reveal of who Mackenzie Davis's character was fucking shitty?
No. I mean, it's... No, it's...
I read that, like, when I saw the leak, like, ages back, I read that, and I'm like, well, that's fucking shitty.
No, it's fine. No, it's fine. She plays the Kyle Reese, so to speak, and that's fine. But that's the thing. There's nothing fresh here. But where it shits on the face of things that comes before. Okay, so in Terminator 2, James Cameron's own movie, he tells us that Terminators, right, when they're sent on their missions, are in read-only mode. They cannot learn, right? We know that because in the special edition, they remove the chip, plug it back in, and they start teaching him how to smile and things like that, right? You with me?
Yeah.
Okay. In this movie, the Terminator that kills John Connor then goes off and a month later has a relationship with a woman who's already got a child and becomes a father, becomes a husband, and raises this child and falls in love.
What?
That was the response I was expecting. Yep, I'm not kidding you. He goes off and gets married and raises her kid, and he runs a drapery business.
I have so many questions.
Yep. Okay,
I have so many questions.
So Cameron has told us that they can't learn, and yet if you cast your mind back to Terminator 1, right, you think about the character that Arnold played in that, okay, in terms of a villain and being robotic. A month or months, he says, after killing John and his mission complete, imagine that character being a father and a husband.
Nope.
It doesn't work. Now, Cameron himself has admitted that he's never watched the TV series Sarah Connor Chronicles, even though he's friends with one of the scriptwriters who helped in this as well. Now, in that show, it deals with Terminators. There's other Terminators that get sent back who aren't there to kill people. They're there to get ready for the war. They're there to, get collections of weapons, ammunition, metals, minerals, materials, these sorts of things that they're going to need for the upcoming war. And it shows these Terminators doing that, and then they put everything into a big warehouse or an underground bunker, and then they just power down and wait for the war to start. Now, that makes a lot more sense to me than going and finding a family. A Terminator, he's completed his mission, assuming that, the war is going to still happen, or if it's not, why is he not powering down? He's a computer. He's a machine. It just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense.
He's got solar panels in his head.
Right. It gets even worse. So we know in Terminator 1 and 2 that the humans use dogs to reveal Terminators. It finds Terminators, right? They barks and carries on. Cats don't like them. Animals don't like Terminators, right? In this movie, he's sitting down cross-legged, patting a dog.
Yeah, the dog learned.
No.
Just like
the dog's a Terminator.
Yeah, it's a Terminator dog. He made it. He used spare parts that he came back with and made it.
Yeah,
the point is, it's just what I'm trying to demonstrate is there was rules that were explained to us very thoroughly in the first two films that are then just completely cast aside in this without any explanation.
Yeah, it's because James Cameron wasn't on set. You can blame him.
Well, then Tim Miller needed to do his job better. I don't care who's to blame here.
There's a reason.
There's a reason why this film's going to lose $120 million. All right, and that's because you've pissed in the face of the fans who followed the law and followed the story, and then aside from that, it's just not a particularly good action film. As I said, there's long periods of nothing going on and just wank exposition. You've got Linda Hamilton, who was the strong female lead in Terminator 2, now having Mackenzie Davis tell her to shut up or she'll kill her. It's real shut up boomer kind of stuff. And it's just this sort of crap going on and on and on, and it was just, I don't know. And then obviously they were trying to find a way to hand the story over. Like, why not go back to, why have, I could have immediately think of a number of different ways to make this more interesting. Why not have, a T-800 from the Skynet future, and then the Rev-9 from the Legion future, and they're both fighting to be the one that kills Sarah or whatever, because the one that kills them is the one that has the future that stays alive. So now you've got two evil Terminators killing each other, but then both trying to kill her. Why not go back to the original roots of it being a thriller? Because, let's be honest, Terminator 1's not an action film. It's a thriller. That's why, when it came out, it was rated R, right? It was scary.
No, it was rated R because of that sexy scene with her and fucking, what's his name?
All right, yeah.
Yeah, otherwise that would actually make it like a compelling film that I would want to watch.
Yeah, instead it's this dialed down family action film. It's still R in America, but it's...
Wait, really? It's still R in America?
Yeah, it's R17 in the States. Yeah. And I look, I won't lie, I feel that they shoved in a bit of extra blood just to bump that in hopes that it would get more bums on seats, to be honest, because it still feels like, Terminator 2 or 3 or 4 or any of the recent ones. Like, it feels pretty mundane. It's not like Terminator 1 where, they're punching people in the chest, ripping their hearts out. It's just, yeah. And it's just disappointing, to be honest. It's just a sad way to end a series, because, Arnold's getting too old for this shit. And I think Natalie Reyes, who played Danny Ramos in this, just... not to reflect her acting, I just think the character was boring and poorly written. And
I think one thing that I'm disappointed about with this is... because this has got such negative reception, right? It's not going to make a whole bunch of money, which may impact Gabriel Luna's future career, who played the Rev-9. And he's good. He was Ghost Rider in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah,
and he was one of the best parts of that entire series, and I really enjoyed him.
To be fair, his character is probably the most interesting out of...
Well, they did say they did do reshoots to actually expand his role in the movie more.
Yeah, because the way he talks with the humans is very natural. Like, he talks... Yeah. He's a Terminator, and you can see how he switches between... Like, you can see... how he switches between smiles and then just killing machine. But the way that the machine interacts with humans is very natural. And that's like it's the Terminator that they had been talking about since, as I said, the very beginning. And it's an interesting character because he's not huge, he's not muscular. He blends in very well, and he played the part well. But it's just, unfortunately, he's in a particularly dull movie, and I would be absolutely stunned if they continue with this. And this is the third attempt at trying to get a reboot, trying to get a trilogy happening, and it's not going to happen. It's fucked. Go back and watch the first one. That's all you need. And if you're younger than me, then you'll probably want to watch the second one too. But otherwise, the first one's all you need. Disappointing, and probably. I mean, I think it's sitting at 54 on Metascore. Wall Street Journal gave it 20%. It was just ripped it apart. And most of the user reviews are very critical of the shitting on the first two films and really, just retconning everything that we've ever been told. So our IMDb is currently at 6.6, which is not too bad, but I reckon it'll probably fall lower. I imagine. I would be surprised if this gets above 6 when it finally settles.
I've got two friends who are very big Terminator fans. One of them more than the other one. I know how excited he was to watch it, and he told me yesterday he was very, very disappointed with it. He's pretty said like he wishes he didn't go watch it at the cinema.
Yeah, exactly. Either way, whether you're a fan or not, this is not a go catch at the cinema film. This is quite honestly a wait for Netflix, whatever home streaming service, or budget DVD release. In terms of just a normal, if you remove it from Terminator and just I want to watch an average action film, sure, it's fine. It's no different to say Terminator 3 or whatever. But if you're a Puritan, you're just going to be hugely disappointed. And it's just another one of those movies that after T2 you ignore by and large. You're better off watching the TV series, to be honest.
Which is apparently really good.
It's not bad. It brings up some interesting ideas.
Suffers from the Summer Glau curse, unfortunately.
Yes. She's a T900 in that, and it's pretty interesting. But this just did nothing new. They get chased by, they're in a shitty van and they get chased by a Terminator in a truck. There's just nothing new. There's nothing. There's no idea that's original and fresh. Everything is just a reuse of shit we've seen before, and it was boring. And all they were really trying to do was shift it from John Connor and Skynet to Legion and Natalie Reyes' character Danny. She's the new John Connor, basically. So it's the same fucking story with just a few tweaks. And they're trying to reboot it. And it just no. Alright. So I think I've made my point clear on that film.
Yeah.
Yep.
What do we got between now and sort of next fortnight? Ethan, obviously we got Disney Plus is releasing, so that's exciting. We've got Doctor Sleep, which...
Doctor Sleep this Thursday.
Pretty exciting.
November, so there's Doctor Sleep, there's Last Christmas, there is Charlie's Angels, Ford versus Ferrari.
Oh, and Matt Damon and
fucking Christian Bale.
Yeah.
So those are the next big movies between now and the next podcast.
Okay, and there'll be no doubt. Well, and then we've got next Friday. We've got Man in the High Castle season 4. So,
yep. We just checked Netflix is coming soon.
Yeah, bunch of stuff hitting the streaming services because they're going to be getting into their busy season too. I imagine with the Christmas break.
Green Eggs and Ham coming this Friday. New Netflix animated series starring Michael Douglas.
Right, obviously based on the story by Dr. Zeus. Okay, cool.
The Crown season 3 coming next Friday.
Right, a lot of people will want to watch that.
Yep.
Of course, King or whatever it is on Netflix now. You can go watch that.
Yep, that's already out. Yep.
Big cast in that one.
No, not much else coming on Netflix between now and next podcast. I've pretty much seen everything it is.
All right. Well, I'm sure we'll find some stuff to talk about though between now and then.
Yeah.
All right then. Well, we'll probably wrap this episode up. Thanks to everybody for tuning in and listening. And, of course, thank you to all our Patreon supporters who help make this podcast possible. It's largely appreciated. And,
You're welcome.
Yeah. And Ethan.
And me.
Ethan.
The fuck?
Ethan's a big-time Patreon supporter.
And motherfucker, keep me in to cancel that.
Damn. He pays for our SoundCloud.
Yeah, I know. So I better keep doing it.
Alright, but we'll be back next fortnight. We'll hopefully have some more news. Probably not as much, because we won't leave it as long, I don't think. But yeah, look after yourselves until then, and we'll be back next fortnight. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun, bum, 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 bum. No, you can't do that. We'll get copyright infringement.
Oh, that's right. Shit.